Thank you very much. Keep going. Come on. Louder. Keep cheering while I drink some water.
Yeah! Woo!
That was nice. Thank you. Big round of applause for Steve for continuing the poop humor from last year. That was great.
Yeah.
Also, please, Steve, that you spoke about being gay. That's very brave of you. I also have something very brave to say, an admission from my life. The other day, I was a straight white Anglo-Saxon male, and it was tough. And I had to go vote, which I've been allowed to do since the Constitution was signed. And there was a woman there. That was tough. Then I went home and had sex with my wife, who I was also allowed to marry since the dawn of time. And then I looked on the TV, and queers are getting married. What a diverse community we have for us today. Where am I in my jokes? Oh, yeah! Thank you. I like to see the judges here. I like Bob Pettigrew's Carmen Sandiego hat. I also want to give a big shout out to the germs professors, one of the teachers of the second largest class, I believe, after making babies. Making babies, one of those classes you're disappointed to learn is not a lab. Damn. But I think it's funny, I think making babies because, you know, a lot of schools like Yale, you know, people go, well, yes, I was inducted into Skull and Bones, as was my father and my grandfather. And then at Harvard, you get a nice gilded chair. It's actually true, you get a chair carved out of like Maine wood. So that's nice. But in New Hampshire grads, you can always talk about, hey, remember that warty dick? Oh, yeah, remember we saw that baby crying while the lady shit her bed? Good times at UNH. You know, I think we're the internet generation, that's great, just like our parents were the rock and roll or the hippie generation, and our grandparents were the depression era generation, woohoo! And the internet's great because we all have things that we can talk about that's really only for us. You know, where our grandparents have to fake knowing it so we can come over and teach them, we just know. So, like, you know, LOL stands for...
Laugh out loud.
Thank you, that was so excited. No, laugh out loud, exactly, and I like how it gives an excuse for vapid bitches to end a sentence with LOL. You go, seriously, what the hell is that? In real life, you're going like, and then Nathan called, ha 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 ha. And of course, there's no capitalism in the sentence, so it's just like, oh yeah, and then I went to class, ha ha ha. I fucking hate LOL. And I also hate roffling, ROFL, which is of course rolling on the floor laughing, because that's even more bullshit, because you ever see that in real life? Like, not even here, I haven't seen this thing, we've had some funny jokes, and no one has gotten out of the chair and just, ha! And then you get up and you're like, where the hell did you go? Excuse me, I was ruffling. And then this one's familiar for anyone who's done chat rooms in the old days. It was ASL, which is maybe a little bit obscure, but it stands for age, sex, location is the question. Or as pedophiles call it, the essentials. Which is of course ridiculous, because any girl who says they're 14 is actually a 55-year-old man jacking off to the idea of a 14-year-old girl. Another thing that's on the internet I learned, thank you, Joe. Another thing that's great is yiffing, which is for any of you who don't know. Yiffing is dressing up as an animal suit and then having sex with someone else in an animal suit. And that is the punchline. That is what people do. So, why not? I wonder how big you make the hole, I don't know. Another thing that's great about the internet is there's a word that, it's called curvy, which of course anyone who goes to Match.com or Craigslist knows, curvy is internet for fat ass. A lot of curvy women in the audience today, apparently. Another great thing about Facebook, and I gotta give a shout out here to Hillary Clinton for almost breaking that glass ceiling, good on her. But the thing is, it's a shame she didn't do it because someone's gonna need to do it in the next 20 years because if anyone from this generation, women are supposed to break the glass ceiling, you guys are hopeless with Facebook still on the internet. Because all you need is George Stephanopoulos to find a picture. He's gonna go, Madam Senator, I have in front of me here a picture from the Facebook album, Betty's Bitches and Beer, playing Kuno 9. And then it's you putting another man's face in your breast. And the caption is, motorboating them hoes. Do you have something to say for yourself? And she's gonna say, he was so nice. He was so nice. She'll revert to sorority girl, I guess. Sorry, we're two sorority girls. You know what's also scary about Facebook Facebook is when you went to college, when your parents went to college and you talked to your parents about it, they can kind of lie, they can make stuff up. Like, you can assume that your parents never really partied. They're just like, oh no, I didn't do any of that, because there's no evidence. Like, I didn't find out until like a year ago that my dad would host kegerators in Randall. Hey, Dad. And also I learned a couple months ago that my mom smoked pot profusely. Hey, Mom. Good message you're sending. And again, her favorite song was Fire on High from Electric Light Orchestra, so we got one ELO fan in the back, apparently. So good for Mom. My brother's sitting down there too, so take notes. And again, you find out you go on Facebook, and you always assume that your dad was the wild one, and your mom kind of saved him, and she was really kind of calm, and a Christian woman who prayed and everything else. And your dad was just like drinking all the time and like a womanizer. If you go on Facebook, like my kids are gonna find out my wife was a slut. It's like, what is this a picture of? Oh, that's just senior year, spring '07. It was a really fun time, it was just nice. Sigma Nu guys were always the ones you could take home. I have no evidence to back that up. That could be the ones that you want to leave at the bar. Again, speaking of whores, ladies, is the ugly look still new? Like, is that still kind of an attractive thing? Because I don't know about you, but I don't like looking at a girl in weird beige boots and a camel toe. Like wearing the weird North Face, and like, when does that die out? Are you gonna wear that every winter and then complain about how cold it is? Because you're someone's mom someday. I hope you realize that. Like, I'm gonna go to my son or daughter's soccer game in 10, 15 years, and I'm gonna find out, like, some girl's gonna be outside now, yay, go! It is so cold in New Hampshire! Why is it this cold all the time? Yes, slut, wear pants. Wear fucking pants and stop complaining because your fucking boots can't walk through the snow. Boots are supposed to keep water out, not retain it. I like taking public transportation. I live in Dover. Dover's fun to live in. I highly recommend it. A lot of good bars. I like taking the bus because you can save gas and you don't have to worry about parking in UNH. The great thing about the bus is you always get to meet new people sitting down. The problem is I feel like as a skinny person, I'm always attracting the fattest people next to me. Oh, I'm sorry. Curvy. That's my time. Thank you very much. Have a good night.